Hey everybody, and welcome to the Get Speaking English Coffee and Crossword stream. My name is Axel, and while we wait for the stream to begin, let me quickly explain how this activity works and give you some information that will help you do it. So, during the stream, we will go through a crossword similar to the one you see on the screen right now. I'm going to guide the conversation by letting you know which question will work on when. I'm going to explain the question to you, maybe give you some definitions, and then I'm going to give you additional clues, other information, hints, maybe some images to help you figure out the answer with me. So, when you think you know an answer, go ahead and put it in the chat. You'll be able to participate on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. The addresses are all available on the screen. So don't be shy if you think you know an answer. Put it in the chat, and when I see a correct answer, I will add it on the board and we will fill out the crossword together that way. So before we begin though, there are a few important rules that you should know specifically about this stream so we could all have a good time. So my first major rule is no cheating. So don't use the internet unless I tell you to. So we could Google the answers if we want or use websites. We're not going to do that though. We're going to work together instead. So please do not use the internet unless I tell you to do so. Secondly, please follow the conversation. So for example, if we are talking about question number 3, don't start talking about question 19. Also, too, please be patient. We may take some detours along the way. I love to talk about additional vocabulary, phrases, other things that are related to what's in the crossword. So just please be patient. Try to stay with the group and don't ruin it for others. Finally, please be nice to one another. Like I said, you'll be able to participate on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, but let's create a nice, friendly learning environment where people feel like they can participate without judgment and have a good time. So those are my main rules for playing this game. Now I'm going to give you some additional information specifically about this crossword to help you complete it. So the first useful thing to know is that this is an American crossword. So that means that American spelling and vocabulary is going to be used. So you can see on the screen right now some differences between American and British spelling. There are many others. This is just a small sample of some of the differences. There are also differences in the choice of vocabulary, in some of the phrases, some of the slang is different. So usually this crossword uses American English. It's also worth knowing that any of the trivia is usually about the United States, so about American history, American geography. However, we won't need to know much trivia. Thankfully, the majority of the questions in this crossword are about language, they're about English, so we won't need to know a lot about trivia. It's also really helpful to know that the answers match the questions. So the answers will always use the same type of word and the same word form as the word in the question. So for example, if there is a plural in the question, there will be a plural in the answer. If there's an abbreviation in the question, there will be an abbreviation in the answer. So all of that is extremely helpful. Sometimes you will see me put little S's or EDs in places, and that's just good information for us to know to fill out the board faster. Keep that in mind too when you are answering, that your answer should always use the same type of word and the same word form as the question. Also, multiple word answers are okay in this crossword. So sometimes the answer could be a phrasal verb, maybe part of a common phrase or an idiom, part of a sentence. Some of the longer ones are titles of books, titles of movies. This crossword does not indicate when something is a multiple word answer. However, I am usually quick to spot them. I will let you know if something is a multiple word answer, but do keep in mind when you are thinking about the answers to the questions that multiple word answers are possible. Finally, too, because we are here to review English, we're here to learn new words and vocabulary as well. It's important to know that there are words in this crossword that we can't really use in real life. So some of the words are just archaic, they're outdated, they're old-fashioned. Some of them are very formal or used only in very specific contexts. I will try to let you know if you can't use something, and I'll try to give you an alternative expression instead. I'll also let you know when you could use something in a specific context, but do keep that in mind, that there are words in this crossword that even I, as a native English speaker, would never use in real life during a conversation. Anyway, so that's it. Like I said, don't be shy. Go ahead, jump in. The more you participate, the faster this crossword will go, so I do appreciate your help. Also, don't hesitate to ask questions about any of the words we talk about or any of the phrases we discuss. I always love having a good language discussion, so put your questions in the chat. I will try to address them. Finally, if you enjoy this activity, please give this video a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing to the channel or following my Facebook page so you don't miss any future streams. Also, please tell other people about this stream. The more people we can get out, the better. It grows the community, and it will let me host even more free live streams, free events, and other additional affordable group activities for English learners. So thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate you being here, and I love when you participate. And get ready, because we are going to start soon. Hello. Hey everybody. Hey, welcome. My name is Axel from Get Speaking English, and I'm here to do a crossword. We're doing crossword. Hello, Ak. Hi, welcome. How are you doing? It's good to see you. Welcome. Yeah, we're gonna hang out here. We're gonna do this crossword. I was looking at it a little bit earlier, and it's not the easiest crossword. We've definitely done easier ones, but I kind of ran out of time looking at the other crosswords, trying to find a better one. So I couldn't find a better one, so we're gonna do this one, but that's fine. We'll get through it. I think we'll be able to get through it. So I'm just gonna fix up my screens here a little bit. And yeah, so you guys already saw the tutorial, so like I said, we are going to go through this. We are going to work together to complete this crossword. I'm going to direct the conversation, let you know which questions we are working on when. I'm going to explain the question, and I'm going to provide additional information as needed to help you figure out the answer with me. And when you think you have an answer, or even if you have a good guess, just put it in the chat. And when I see the answers, I will put it on the board and we will complete the crossword that way. So don't be shy. Feel free to participate. I'm live right now on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. You can play at any of in any of those locations. So the chat is up. I will be watching. Yeah, so don't be shy. Anyways, let's get right to it then, and give this a go. So, and I feel like I should warn you that I'm a little tired today. Jacqueline, welcome! Welcome, it is so good to see you. Thanks for coming out. Yeah, I hope you guys had a good, weekend. I know it's Wednesday, but anyways, yeah, so let's get right to it, I guess. So we have Jose's house. I have a funny feeling. So Jose is kind of a classic, or Jose, I should say, classic Spanish name. I have a funny feeling this is going to be a Spanish word, potentially the Spanish word for house. So if you happen to know the Spanish word for house, let me know. So if you happen to know the Spanish word for house, let me know. But we are going to focus, I think, on the one that's going down, since we are here to focus on English. That is the plan. Yeah, so play group. So a play group, a casa, exactly. Yeah, I think this is gonna be casa. So let's put casa in here, casa. Spanish for house, exactly. And this one here, this play group, so we see that it starts with a C. I have a funny feeling that this, this play here, this is a reference to theater. So basically a group of people who would perform in a play. Yeah, I also speak very, like, just like a little bit of Spanish, just like a little bit. Actually speak a lot of Italian, so that helps. I've been kind of forcing my way through like the Spanish and the Portuguese Duolingo. It's been helping. Cast, exactly. A cast is going to be our play group. So let's put that right in here. Alright. Alright, so what else do we have here? So we have a Trojan war hero. This one should be easy though. The store event. A store event. So it starts with an S. A store event. Basically something happens at a store, a store is a place where you buy things, right? So something that happens at a store where you buy things. And I'm thinking this is kind of an event where maybe you are able to buy things cheaper than usual, like sort of at a bit of a discount. Yeah, so during this period or during this, this event, you can buy things that are a bit cheaper than usual. So the answer is not going to be sold, but you are thinking about the right, sort of thinking about the right thing. Here, sold, this is the past form or the past participle of the verb sell, right? But here we're kind of looking for a noun. I think that's what we're looking for. So, but kind of similar. They're kind of related words. They're very similar. I'll give you a hint, it ends in an E. I'll put an E in there. Put an E in there. I'm gonna fiddle with this for a second. Alright, there you go. A little bit better. I think this is going to be a sale. A sale is an event where you can buy things sort of at a discounted or special price. And they usually happen at the end of a season, typically, maybe. So sort of at an end of a period of time there. All right, awesome. Yeah, there, now you got it. Yeah, exactly, a sale. Okay, awesome. What else do we have here? So not quite closed. Uno plus duo. Uno plus duo. Duo. I guess another, maybe like another little Spanish one. Or maybe Italian as well. Let's focus on this one. So I think this is gonna be the Spanish or maybe like Italian word for 3. If you want to guess what that one is, tre. Yeah, exactly. Let's put that there. All right. And let's talk about this interesting word here. This one here for not quite close. This is kind of a great little word here. This kind of refers to if a door is not completely closed and it is open just a teeny little bit. I'm going to share a picture of what I mean. But we can see here in this picture, we have this picture of this door, and we can see that it is not quite closed, right? There's this little bit of a gap here. So this could be a new word. But it is definitely a word that native English speakers would know, just to refer to this little gap. And this is actually an adjective. We might say, you know, the door is just this here. And it means not quite closed. And we could kind of use it for windows as well, too, I should say. But usually we use this word when we are talking about doors. So here's a window, sort of also slightly open, or we might say it is slightly ajar. So this here, this door is slightly ajar. This window is slightly ajar. That means that it is open just a tiny bit. So there is a little gap. We might refer to this space as a gap. We could say that as well too. So, but yeah, so ajar is going to be the adjective we would use for to refer to this little opening. All right. And what else do we have here? So a log chopper. So chopper, we can see the word chop in here. I found it with the Trojan. Okay, yeah, if you want to let me know the Trojan war hero, for sure. I think I know what it is too, actually. If you wanna let me know. Definitely. I think it's gonna reveal in a minute, but yeah, if you want to let me know. We can see the word chop here in this word here, chopper. And that means to cut something, right? So to cut something. So we're basically looking for something that would chop a log. And a log is like a, basically a piece of wood, right? So we can see the answer. We can see the answer now that we've put in Ajax, but yeah, axe. We're gonna use an axe to cut wood, to cut our logs. Here's a log, just in case you're not sure. So we're all on the same page. And we would use an axe to cut that with, to chop it with. We would chop wood. Awesome. Okay, great job. So here's our axe too, just so we're all on the same page. Okay, cool. What else here? Well, here's another good little trivia one. I usually don't like focusing on the trivia, but I am open to it. If you happen to know the first word of this, it's basically a festival that happens in New Orleans. Very, very famous festival. I'm trying to get a picture. See if maybe they sort of like dress up and lots of everybody wears beads and stuff like that. Sort of like this big party that they kind of have. So if you happen to know the name of that big party they have in New Orleans, I can put it in here. I'll give a hint actually. It starts with an M. But I'm sure this will reveal in time. We will get it. So it's not green. So we'll come back to this one, I think. I think we will figure out what it is. Let's get this letter, baby. This lot by. Yeah, Mardi Gras, exactly. Mardi Gras. There you go. So let's put Mardi Gras in here. Awesome. Mardi Gras. Name of that big festival that they have. New Orleans. And now we have this A here. We have this A here for this lot by. In this case, we are referring to, usually we know the word lot from like a parking lot, right? Sort of like a really big space maybe where they would keep cars, basically. A large space where you keep many cars. Yeah, where you can keep many cars. There's kind of another place where we might also find a lot of cars. We might find them at like a dealership, right? Basically a place where you would buy cars, maybe used or new, right? Really depends. Okay, maybe not used, but where you would buy cars, right? So a lot could refer to that as well. So we're looking for the name of something that starts with an A that you would buy at one of these lots. So I think that's what we are looking for here. So I think we're looking for a synonym for the word car, basically. So another word for car, basically, right? Obviously, it's not vehicle. That's too long. But we have an A here. This word is kind of shorter for a longer word, basically. So it's sort of a short word for a much longer word. You're gonna kick myself. You're gonna kick yourself when I put it in. You're like, oh, let's do auto, exactly, our auto. We're gonna buy an auto, which of course is short for automobile, right? But we're gonna buy an auto at the car lot. So let's put that in there. And yeah, let's do this one really quickly. Verb for you. I think we're talking about potentially like one of the most common verbs that we use in English all the time, conjugated with you. So a very common verb for the subject. You can't type today. It's one of our, you know, our auxiliary verbs, basically. Like, for example, if the subject was I, you know, I am, you are, exactly. So let's put that in here. All right. What else could we do here? So aching, future stallion. Yeah, let's do this one. So if we are aching, we could see kind of the word, we can just kind of see the word ache in here. And if you, like, that is a type of pain, right? So we're kind of looking for another adjective that we would use. That we are in a lot of, maybe in some pain. So an adjective that means that we are in pain. Maybe not like a sharp pain, but more like, say for example, maybe you worked out a lot or you did a lot of heavy lifting. Maybe you, you did like a lot of heavy lifting and then maybe your body kind of has a lot of pain. It aches a lot the next day. We're kind of looking for a word like that. And it's gonna start with an S. I'll put an S in here. Maybe. So an adjective that means that we're in a lot of pain. Sort of like a consistent pain. So painful and uncomfortable because of injury, infection, or just like too much use, like overuse, basically. Yeah. Try to look, maybe put it in, I'm gonna put it in a sentence, and that might help. Here we go. So my feet were whatever with all the walking. So I spent so much time walking, and then the next day or maybe later my feet were whatever this is, sort of like this dull, kind of uncomfortable, well maybe not dull, but this uncomfortable feeling because I happened to spend too much time on my feet. I overused that part of my body, maybe, or maybe they're just really tired, kind of in pain. Anyways, I think this word is going to be sore. So we are sore. If we are aching, we could also say we are sore. Yeah, so put that in here. Oh, I couldn't figure that one out. All right, future stallion. A stallion is a horse. A stallion is basically a type of horse. There's a horse. It's like a male horse. And ads. All right. So stallion is a main horse or a male horse. And we're looking for another word for a young horse. And we might know this one. This could be a new word, actually, because there's a couple different words for a young horse. What is it? They're like a filly. That's one. I think that's how you spell it. Or a foal. But it's not going to be either of these ones. Oh, so a filly is a female horse, a young female horse. I guess this one is a young male horse. So this could be a new word, though. This could definitely be a new word for us. And then a foal is basically just like a young horse of any gender. But yeah, if you think you know this one, probably a new word for us, maybe. Anyways, this one here. This one is going to be a colt. A colt is a young male horse. There we go. Yeah, so colt for a male one, a filly for a female one, and just a foal we can use for either gender. And apparently foals are really young or something. Anyways, I don't know a lot about horses. But those are the different words we would use to talk about them. All right. Quidditch need and got together. If we got together, probably saw each other maybe face to face, had a little bit of a meeting or something, and we're looking for the past verb, like the past form of a verb. So basically, we, you know, basically had a meeting, we might say, because, you know, if you get together, you see each other. Hard to do it without actually saying the correct answer. You're right, this is met. Perfect. And Adequal, welcome. Welcome. It's good to see you. Yeah, so if we got together, or if we had our meeting, we met. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Good day. Good day to you too. All right, yeah, so Quidditch. It's like a Harry Potter reference, right? It's like a game. That they played. I'm looking for a picture, kind of. But there's one thing in particular that they use to kind of fly around on. So groom, we're close-ish. It rhymes with that. Definitely rhymes with groom. I'm gonna tell you what a groom is in a minute. But we're right. We need an O here, we need an M here. Looking for one of these things. One of these things that you would also use for cleaning as well. So this thing is also used for cleaning, right? For sweeping, basically. So a broom, exactly. We're going to fly around on a broom. All right, so let's put that in here. On a groom, because I said that I would tell you. So a groom is the man in a wedding. So there's the bride and groom. So the bride is the woman, and then the groom is the man. So that is what a groom is gonna be. Perfect though. Yeah, we were really close though. All right. And a debate topic. So if we are debating or having maybe really heated, maybe heated, but you know, intellectual discussions based on different critical topics. So we're basically just looking for another word for topic here. So kind of like a subject, maybe a problem or something as well. So another word for that. And I try to put this in maybe a sentence that might help. There's a collocation that we might use, actually. We would say to address an something here. An issue, exactly. We would discuss issues during a debate. So typically, you know, problems or sort of intense subjects, maybe. But an issue, yes, and we would address an issue. That would be maybe a common collocation. Yeah. All right. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So stage work audibly. Okay, I think we can do this one. So audibly. Something that is audible. You can kind of see the word, like it's related to the word audio, right? You can kind of see that these are sort of related. It's something audio that's related to sound, right? So something that is done audibly, so that's going to be our adverb, right? But it's something that you can hear, right? So this is, so something that you can hear. So I think this, let's see if I have enough. Yeah. This one here, this is an adjective. Yes. I think. Yes. No, I think it's an adverb. For if you were to say something audibly. So as in if you were to say something and others could hear it. Yeah. I should double check that this is an adverb. It is an adverb. Okay, I was good. I'm gonna put this in a sentence, maybe. And probably will make a little bit more sense, I think. I think if I put it in a sentence, you guys are gonna get it. So if we read something that others are going to hear it, right? We are saying it. Here, for example, he read the letter, whatever, to the rest of the family. He read the letter audibly, so other people could hear him. So we kind of said it loudly instead of sort of quietly, right? So the official definition apparently is in a voice loud enough to be heard. So definitely has to do with hearing, has to do with sounds. I think this is going to be aloud. So he read her letter aloud, so everybody could hear it. So he read it aloud to the rest of the family. Here is another example with this word, although I'm sure that we probably know this word, but I wondered aloud whether it would be worth the wait. So instead of keeping my worries and my thoughts in my head, I verbally expressed them. I said them aloud. I said them audibly so other people could hear them. So let's put that in here. So aloud. All right. We might know this word, I wonder. This word is kind of like almost like a little invisible kind of like a little like mystique, a little bit of like mysterious, maybe something that has, you know, kind of mystique. It's not completely clear. Kind of referring to sort of like the feeling that or like the feeling or the character that somebody has. Aura. Yeah, thanks guys. That was a hard one to like kind of explain, but you're right, aura. All right, there you go. Yeah, so can loud and loudly be used interchangeably? So I wondered loudly. I would use them a little bit different. There's definitely certain collocations where I would use it. You know what other word I would use interchangeably for aloud? Out loud. That's what I would say. I wondered out loud, or I wondered aloud. If I say something loudly, it refers more like I said it with maybe a really big voice, or I projected my voice more than usual, if that makes sense. So, you know, he shouted loudly across the room, right? So he was really loud, right? Whereas if you just do something aloud or you do something out loud, it just means that you do it with enough volume that other people can hear you. And it doesn't have to be like a huge volume or something, right? Like you can read a book quietly in your head, right? Or you could say the word out loud or aloud, right? Spoken. So that's kind of the difference. Does that make sense? So they can't really be used interchangeably because they kind of have slightly different meanings. But loudly, something done with a very loud voice, basically. Yeah, no problem. All right. Right, so we have our aura. Oh, this is so slow. Okay, highly decorative. Yeah, something decorative, you know, has a lot of decorations on it. So, you know, something having a lot of maybe very complicated decoration, right? Lots of little, maybe visual elements. Like here, for example, I don't know. This mirror is kind of highly decorated and has a lot of little details on it or something like that. So we're kind of looking for a word like that if something has lots of little decorations on it. Ornate. Exactly. Ornate, I think, is the word that we are looking for. So ornate. All right. Hue of house. If you happen to know what this one is, put in the chat. I'm not going to focus on it, but if you happen to know this guy's name, that will help. So Hue of House, that was a TV show. And a casserole staple and a tiny complaint and my word. Okay, let's do this one. Casserole. Lori! All right, cool. Okay, that's helpful. Casserole staple. This is a staple is something typically we refer to staples maybe as sort of key core ingredients or that's like part of something, sort of like a main product or a main, I don't know. If we're talking about food, it's kind of like classic items that you would always maybe have on hand, like bread and rice and butter, something like that. So those are all staples. So this is basically, and a casserole is a type of food. I'm going to show you what a casserole looks like. You bake it in a dish. I'm trying to get one that doesn't look like a lasagna. Maybe something like this. This is kind of like a casserole. So in a little casserole dish, you know, it's not quite like a, I don't know. It's not really a soup because it's thicker. Anyways, a classic casserole ingredient or classic casserole staple might be tuna casserole. at least here is a kind of a typical type of casserole you might make. So yeah, so let's put that there. And let's see if we can do this one here. Although I'm not crazy about this clue. But this is another clue about theater, I think. So stage here, the place where you know, you would do a performance in a theater. So we're basically looking for kind of like another way to describe that, doing a performance basically. Something like that, doing a theatrical performance. Maybe that is going to be our stage work. Acting, exactly. So let's put acting in here. And that should be good. Yeah, this little complaint, this is a fun thing here. This little tiny complaint is, well, they say knit. We might say to nitpick. You know, you're always nitpicking about the things I do, or nitpicking, or just picking on me. And if you nitpick, that means that you kind of nag. You kind of complain about little itty bitty things that aren't really that important. So, to nag someone about something means to make little complaints about trivial, unimportant things. And same with nitpicking. If you nitpick, it means that you're kind of picking on somebody about little dumb, unimportant things. All right, what else do we have here? So Patriot, Alan, our Greek, X. There's a lot of trivia in here. Although I think we can get it. Let's do our rocker Clapton. His first name. If you happen to know who it, like what it is. A famous musician from back in the day. We have Eric, exactly. Let's put Eric in here. That'll help us. And bulls or bears might not be. Well, it's gonna be easier than this one for you guys. Bulls and bears are animals, right? Bulls and bears are animals, but I think that we are also referring to something a little bit different. Kind of like this, for example. Or this one. They're all football things. So, yes, the bulls or the bears are a stock market related, not quite stock market related. So these are American football groups of people who play games, basically. A group of people who play a game, basically, and they play together. It's like a sport game. A team, exactly. They are examples of a team. Yes. So the Bears and the Bulls in this case are a football team. So let's put that in there. All right. So that's a little bit tricky one. That when I was looking at this one earlier, that one's kind of stumped me too. All right. Hard. Precipitation. Precipitation refers to sort of forms of water that fall from the sky. That was a bad, right? That was a really tricky one. I know. Yeah, sometimes they're tricky ones. Anyways, that's all right though. So we have rain. Okay, yes, exactly. So rain is an example of precipitation. That's not our answer, but you're right. This is a form of precipitation. I think the word hard here is our clue. So basically we're looking for the name of rain when it freezes before it hits the ground. Hail, exactly. Hail is going to be our answer. I'm just gonna get a picture so we are all on the same page. So it falls in as like these little frozen icy pellets or balls, basically. It can be really painful and destructive. But hail, I think that's gonna be there. Cusco native. I know what this is, but this section is a little bit tricky. It's a lot of kind of trivia in this one, unfortunately. Do you guys know what the Greek X is? If you know what the Greek X is, let me know. And then we also have this Cusco. I don't think I'm saying that right. Yeah, this is Inca. Exactly. This is Inca. So we put that in here. And then we have our little Greek X. So our little Greek X. And this one, I don't even actually know how to say this one, but this is a C. I think that's key, like key, maybe, potentially. All right, anyways, all right. And I'm just gonna put this in here. This is Ethan. Okay. More trivia. Yeah, this one's key. Or Kai, I don't know how to say it. I'll have to look it up after. Director Lee, line count, item. Yeah, let's do this one maybe. Checkout line count. So the checkout line, the checkout is a place at the, basically at the cash register, right? The checkout, the cash register, where you check out and pay for your items. Oh no, your purchases at a store. I think I just gave away the answer. But there are special lines sometimes at the register where you have to count the number of products you have. So, things you may need to count at the checkout. You know, there might be an express lane, for example, and you can only have, you know, like 10 things. Items, exactly. Oh, I kind of blew that one. Items are things that you might need to check. You might need to count at the checkout line. Okay. Boxer Alley, Spike. Director Spike, If you know what this one is, that is also helpful. Director. Give you a second, and then I might plug it in. Too many names and stuff in this one today. I always try to find ones that don't have a lot of names in them, but I couldn't find one this morning. So I think this guy is going to be Spike Lee. Exactly. Lee. All right. So let's put Lee in here. All right. There we go. Cool, cool, cool. Got it. A phrase we might say. A phrase we might say. 2 words. Dun, 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 dun. A phrase we might say if we understand, you know, somebody is telling you something, you want to indicate that you understand what they are saying, or you know what they're talking about. You could say, got it, or you might also say something else to say that you know. So we're looking for kind of a pronoun here and a verb. I see, exactly. So I see. I understand. Got it. Gotcha. All right, so let's put that in here. I see. And now we have this notion. A notion. So I can't spell. A notion is, I'm trying to think of how to, maybe almost like a belief? A belief, maybe? Hard to explain without saying the word, but sort of like a belief or a thought that you have. So we're kind of looking for a word about sort of idea, about thoughts, beliefs. I'm really bad at this today. Anyways. Here, like for for example, we could slot it, we could swap it in here. I only have a vague notion of what she does for a living, or we could also maybe say this as well in this sentence. So we could swap them out. Thank you for the idea. Yeah. Sometimes my wires get crossed. Sometimes it's tricky having to trying to explain what these are without actually saying the answer. Like, oh my god. So hard. Okay, anyways, yes. And so here, yeah, we could also say you have a vague idea about something, or a vague notion, but a vague idea. And if you have a vague idea, if something is really vague, it's not a very clear idea. Like, you don't know very well. You're just basically guessing at this point, because something vague is not clear at all. So something vague is not clear at all. Okay. What else do we have here? Sluggish. I don't know what that is. Tell tales. So we're looking for a verb. 3 words, or 3 letters, a verb. And a tale is a story, right? That may or may not be true. So we're kind of looking for another verb for if you are telling little stories that may or may not be true, probably not true stories. So something like that. Basically to, you know, almost give false information, something specifically not true. You know, to say or write something that is not true in order to deceive someone. I think that is a good little definition there. So to tell a tale. To tell a tale, tell tales means to lie. Exactly. We're gonna lie. Yeah. So if you say that we would say that too if you were telling tales. That means that you were lying. So you just told me a lot of tales about what was happening. None of them were true. Okay. School papers. Something that we would write when we are in school. I gotta put an S here because we see that there is an S here. E. Something, something. A. Something. S. So papers. Things that you would write in school. Sort of like long forms, like long pieces of writing, right? Or you might also write these things on an exam as well, too, right? They're usually discussion pieces, sort of maybe discussing maybe the pros and cons of things or something like that, of various issues. Essays, exactly. Essays are going to be papers that we will write in school or maybe on an exam or something. Okay, there you go. All right. Print unit. Oh, I'm just gonna put this in here. Add section. This is also kind of tricky. Let's do this one maybe. So a scout. So a shelter. Basically like a little place that a place where you are protected maybe from the elements, right? And here when we're talking about a scout, I think what they are talking about are I'm gonna get a picture. They're talking about like Boy Scouts, which are kind of like this thing, you know, that young men might do, right? Young boys would do. Yeah, exactly. So these are going to be tents, exactly. So they're going to be in tents when they go camping. That's going to be our little shelters. I don't know if we're going to like get this one. Do you know what this one is? The Stephen King book. It was also a movie. There's a lot of Stephen King books, Stephen King stuff in here actually that we haven't been talking about. Name of a book. It also just means that you were really unhappy. Exactly, misery. Misery. Let's put that in. All right. And maybe we get this one here too. You love this movie. Okay, nice. Yeah. That's great. Yeah, that was a good one. Braying beast. So something that brays is this is a sound that an animal makes. But we would say that a beast refers to an animal, right? But an animal that brays is a donkey. So a donkey is an animal that brays. So we're kind of looking for another word for the word donkey. So basically another name for donkey. I know mule, I mean that could be one, right? Doesn't fit here. This word though, because we might not know that this is a name, like another way to refer to a donkey. This could also be another word for like sort of almost like a swear word for somebody's butt. An ass, exactly. So an ass is another name for a donkey. Exactly. You could also call somebody who's acting kind of really stubborn or being a bit of a jerk, because donkeys are kind of stubborn. They can act like jerks as an ass as well. Quit being an ass. Or also for somebody's hind quarters, let's say. Anyways. Spinning toy. Spinning toy. I think this is something that little like kids would play with. Spinning toy. And there was like this movie, what was it, Inception? That was all about one of these things too. One of these things that spin. To spin means to sort of rotate really quickly on an axis, right? It's to spin, to rotate really quickly on an axis. But one of these guys, you happen to know what this little toy is called that would spin really quickly on its axis? Exactly, this is a top. This is a spinning top. So let's put that in here. T-O-P. What else here? Another Stephen King book. Know this, but I don't remember the word anymore. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so we got top. That's why I think this activity works best when there's a group of us to brainstorm, trying to think of the thing. Speaking about brainstorming, so I don't read a lot of Stephen King books, but if you do, you might know the name of this book. I have a guess as to what it is, but if you happen to know the name of this book, let me know. Otherwise, we're going to look at something else. I think we're going to talk about fences, apparently. Let's get a fence. Let's talk about fences. Christine the Devil car. Yeah, all right. Perfect. Nice. There we go. Yeah, great job, guys. I appreciate that. It's nice when there's actually many of us brainstorming all the trivia, because I'm actually not a trivia person. I really struggle with trivia, like the trivia part and the names in the crossword, and I usually only figure them out by like ignoring them and just like doing all the other things. And maybe making some educated guesses. But we are looking for here, basically the name of, starts with a P. The name of these, like these stakes or these pieces of wood that kind of stick into the ground. So there is a sort of a name for that. I suppose it also you can also refer to like these longer horizontal pieces as well, but I always think of them as being the vertical pieces. A fence, whatever. Can't spell. A fence post, exactly. So I think it's gonna be a post. So we got a fence post. Cool. Turkish tauber, I don't know, cuts off. This one. A bit of rind. So the rind is sort of that outer layer of like a citrus fruit. Shh. I'm trying to get a picture. Here we go. So because there's, you know, like the peel is like the whole, like sort of the whole skin. I'm trying to get some pictures. So this is like the whole, like the skin or the peel of a citrus fruit. But if you just have like a little, the little bit, like the rind is just like the tiny, sort of like the outermost layer, almost. And then you might use a grater, for example, just to sort of remove a little bit of the outer layer. You can see here in this picture, you're just like, anyways, yeah, we're looking for that word. Exactly. Zest. This is the zest. Exactly. Awesome. So zest is gonna be our word. Cool. Cuts off. So I think if you, cuts off, maybe finishes before expected, like finishes prematurely, maybe, or before expected, basically, like it suddenly stops, basically. I think that's what we beat here. Oops, finishes. Can't spell. Finishes prematurely. Suddenly stops. Yeah, I think this is going to be ends. Yeah, basically to stop something. I was looking for like a kind of a good example or something. Yeah, typically prematurely as well. Here's an example. Yes, so he ran out of time and brought the interview to an end. So he decided to finish it, although this obviously is a verb, or it's not a verb, it's a noun, but you get it. So ends, something ends. And we're so close. Rover's pal. How are we gonna get this one? But a casino is a place, a place where we gamble, right? And a figure. This has to do with numbers, right? So when you are gambling, you may talk about sort of like the mathematical, almost like probability. The mathematical probability of something happening, basically. Odds, exactly, the odds. So those are going to be our casino figures. So we got that. Let's see. It's the second last word in the crossword. It should have been the last. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I thought that odds would have been easier to figure out if we did ends first. So that was my thought. And I don't know if we're gonna know this one, but Rover is a name for a dog. So Rover is a like stereotypical, it's like a classic name for a pet dog. And this here is another classic stereotypical name for a dog as well. So we might know this one. Maybe. Fido. Exactly. Fido is going to be the name of the dog. Anyways, great job, guys. That was amazing. We did such an amazing job. So great. Really appreciate it. You guys are totally on the ball. I love having your help. Goes so much faster when we put our little heads together and figure it out. So that was cool. I feel like this is a record. It only took us like an hour and maybe 15 minutes. So that's amazing. So we did really great. Yeah, so really appreciate the help. You guys are amazing, really on the ball today. So that's super cool. Anyways, yeah, so thanks for coming out. I am going to do a crossword tomorrow in the evening. So my next, well, evening for me, my next crossword will be tomorrow. So that is Thursday. What is it? February 27th. At, I believe it is 2100 UTC. That is what I'm doing it. I have a good aura. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, so tomorrow I'm going to do an evening crossword stream. So yeah, at 2100 UTC, be back to do another one. So feel free to come out for that. And if you can't make that, I will be doing another one on Friday at this time, at the same time. So I'll put that in here too. There will also be an AM stream Friday, February 28th at, I believe that is 1300 UTC, the same time. Anyways, so thanks again. Really appreciate it. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I will see you guys next time. Feel free to like and subscribe, all that jazz. Feel free to share this with other people as well too, or like your favorite Facebook group, that sort of thing. Because it would be amazing if we could get more people out. That would be really cool. I love doing these activities. so it really motivates me when people come out. They're really great. Anyways, and yeah, you guys have a good one, okay? I'll see you guys next time. All right, bye everybody.